If you go and take a dictionary and flip it open to L to O-V-E, you'll find the definition of the thing we all crave desperately. It tells us it's a profoundly tender, passionate affection for another person, and we tell ourselves it's when nothing about them is ever annoying, never irksome, but it's the butterflies in our stomach that we want to loose into the skies. It's the moments when they look at you and you find yourself drowning in their eyes. But we've been lied to. We've been deceived, and that's not real love at all. That's romantic vanity and pride comes before the fall. We're not someone's perfection. We're not someone's heaven on earth, because we're all sinners, and we have been from the moment of birth. And that's why I know that love is not what the dictionary tries to tell, because if the dictionary were right, frankly, we would all belong in hell. And really, that's still where every one of us should be, since the moment that apple was bitten by Adam and Eve, since the moment when sin would begin to cause us strife, and the moment when they unknowingly condemned our afterlife. But even before the devil came down as a serpent and tempted, before the state of humanity from perfect goodness ever descended, God saw it coming, and he planned out of love to send his only son who came down from above. And though fully God, he became fully man, and lived that way until he died, our sacrificial lamb, who lived a sinless life, his blood spilled so that he made saved, by his death to wash us clean, and death defeated when he rose from the grave. So love is not just some form of romantic or sexual attraction, because love is instead a conscious choice and an action, or we would not have the chance to accept Christ as our Savior, because by our definition of love, God wouldn't have done us any favors. That well-known passage, John 3:16, would never have happened, because according to the dictionary, God would not have loved us for a second. Even though he made us good and he made us beautifully in his sight, our sin is not attractive to him. Our sin is instead a horrible blight. So if love were simple attraction or affection, like we call it, then I hope that we can all agree that we are in no way fit to be loved by a perfect God, Yahweh, Jehovah, Jesus, that we would live hiding like Adam and Eve, hoping he did not see us. But love is that choice to actively put another person first. And that is why, although each of us is sinner by nature from birth, God still loves us. He calls us his children. He sent his son to die so we could be forgiven. Because even though we chose sin and turned our backs on our Father above, he chose to take action. He chose to actively love. So yes, you can fall in love and be romantic and have that passion, but remember that love is so much more. It's still that conscious action. So don't let the dictionaries tell you that love is something you can't choose, and stop thinking it's just romantic, and put yourself in someone else's shoes. Then look at the world through their eyes, and realize that just like you, they're alive. They've got feelings, mistakes, regrets, memories. They've got their own sets of dislikes and fancies, and when you realize this, choose to step a little lower and maybe sacrifice. It can be small, nothing big. I'm not asking you to give up your life. Just put them first for one moment. Forget your needs and put theirs above. Since choosing to do this, choosing to act, is the real definition of love.